everybody, it's Bob from TNT. So we're outside today. Got a couple of Jeeps here that we want to chat about. This was, if people remember, way back when, Project Lowrider. One of our very first, or was a low center of gravity build we did years ago. And we took it out and used the snot out of it. And as you can see, it's evolved a little bit over the years. South Dakota did in most of the rear of the tub. So we kind of truggied it out for the customer. While it was in, we also did LS conversion. So this one's got an LS and 4L60 in it now. A couple of things we wanted to point out in here is the custom dash that we did. It is a kind of a one-off piece, but something we're working on slowly as we develop it. We've got another one in the shop we're working on right now. My red TJ, of course, has a full-on custom dash in it. So it's just kind of some of the things we can do in the custom shop. Not sure that it will ever go to full production, as there's variations. People want different things or have different ideas, but it gives you an idea of our capabilities. Still all TJ from, I don't know, somewhere in here is where we cut it off originally. So firewall and floor pan is still TJ. We built hardened sides and sliders on it. Kind of tied them all into the cage work we did. It's all tied to the frame. Still has our off-the-shelf suspension in it. Our Y-link front and dual triangulated rear. We did lengthen the rear control arms, give it a little more wheelbase, since we had no constraints back there. I think this one sits right at 106-inch wheelbase. It's a lot of fun in the tight quarters of South Dakota and things of that nature. Works very well. So I'll let Mason wander around because nobody wants to see a fat guy get out of a Jeep with outdoors. So a quick rundown with Rock Jock Dana 60 rear. Converted all to 40 spline, so 40 spline locker and 40 spline shafts. King coilovers. Front's a Rock Jock 60 front. PSC full hydro steering. Like I said earlier, it's all of our suspension. It's just kind of a cool little truggy now. And then I guess the main focus for today is this Jeep's been out for a while. Some of you have seen it locally. It's a two-door JK, has an 8-inch stretch in it. Some one-off parts. We're not really sure that we'll ever take them to production. What I'm talking about there is the suspension. It's a dual triangulated based on our off-the-shelf TJ kit. It's a bit cost prohibitive. We can do this conversion in the shop for you, but it does require a fuel cell because we take the factory gas tank out of it to make the dual triangulated system work. It's where it becomes cost prohibitive. But if they really want to take your JK to the next level, we can do that. Give Truck a call and start up a conversation over at the Jeep shop. Like I said, 8-inch stretch in the rear. We push the front about an inch. It's realistically about all you can do without major surgery. Customers got probably 3,500 miles on it now. It came out of the paint shop this winter. That was our last stage of this build, was to send it through paint. Completely blew it apart, painted everything. We're using the Nemesis flare in the rear. We stretched them about 3 inches to make everything work right. It's our corner, our slider, our Guardian slider. I don't know if Mason can see this or not, or if the sun might be better on this side. The sun's better. We showed you this on Brian Hamilton's, the green one we did. You know, we locked the slider and the corner together through this flanging system because the factory wheel well is back here somewhere. So you want to toughen that area up and bring a full length slider so you can slide, get the tire right on it. So that's part of our Guardian series of armor, is that's all, you know, it's a whole complete package, slider and corner assembly. There's lots of little details in this Jeep. We could probably spend the next 3 hours looking it over. Our coilover conversion, so it's a forward mounted coilover, so we can use a little bit shorter coilover, but since it's somewhat cantilevered mounted, we're still getting over 13 inches of wheel travel at the axle. Don't have a ton of packaging problems because of their shorter coilover. It is a cut through the frame mount and through the body, so there's a sheet metal enclosure that closes all that back out, the tie bar that stabilizes the coilover mount. We did a full custom cage in this Jeep, so it's all tied to the frame. Really the kind of pinnacle is the interior work that was done. Okay, so the full interior, all gutted, still has factory HVAC system, but that's it. Fully fabricated dash, center console, steering column. You know, we did farmed this out to one of our friends here locally, did a custom half cab for it. It has been driven to Texas and back, and old Superlift Park, which is technically in Arkansas, I suppose. But he drove it all the way down there, spent some time in Texas, went over to Arkansas, went drove it all the way home without a hitch. So it does have a 6.7 Harrington stroker in it, so it's been dynoed at about 525 horse. It's fun to drive. With a full standalone wiring system in it now. It's only JK by look. It's really a kind of a street rod on 40s. So, you know, obviously 40s are on trail ready, 20-inch wheels. Dynatrack 60 front, 80 rear. It's got the 6-speed out of a truck, 4-speed Atlas in it. You know, so it looks good, but it's pretty capable as well. So I just wanted to show you some of the things you can do with our parts. Pretty much everything here is standard off-the-shelf stuff, other than this rear suspension. But that can be done out of our Jeep shop if you want to bring us your Jeep. You know, we have full capability. We have partners that do our paint work for us. We do some of the rough body work. We do powder coating in-house. You name it, we can pretty much handle it all one-stop shop. Or we can put it all on a pallet and ship it to you. This kind of gives you an idea of what can happen to a Jeep over the years. No sense starting over, just keep amending, I guess would be the word. You can still see it still has a TJ frame in it. It's been back halved and shortened so we get the departure angle, but it's still for the most part off the shelf part. So a little custom work in the sliders. We took our standard Guardian front bumper and actually welded it completely to the frame, so we could tie all the tube work into it. So that's, you know, something you can do at home as well. We added the grill hoop, and kind of the fenders are all custom tube work, but you know, if you got a tubing bender, you have a platform to start with. So we're gonna keep it a little short today because our video's not great outside. So basically, wrap up TNT Tuesday, a short and sweet one. Again, I'm Bob.